What initially drew you to analytical science, and how has your career evolved since then?
I was drawn to science in actually high school. I had an amazing high school chemistry teacher, and she really made me fall in love with it. I went to college to a small liberal arts school where I got a lot of hands-on instrumentation. At the time, that was at NMR. And from there, when I was deciding to go to grad school, one of the best things I was told was to pick somebody that pick your school based on who you want to work for. And so that's how I ended up at Florida State and then analytical. I spent my during my TOSO years, I was doing analytical, but more doing GPC education and customer support and things like that. And then I came here to Arkema. So I just think that my like detail oriented creativity and things like that have kind of guided me to use my science skills and kind of found a place in the analytical area.
So I was drawn to the field. I think also I echo Amanda's comment from high school. I was actually in the advanced placement chemistry course, I remember, and I was the only girl in that course. And I remember the teacher saying, there's something special, like you really like it's seamless for you. You seem to follow it and enjoy it. You should really consider this as a career. And honestly, before that conversation with that high school teacher, I never even thought about that. I knew I wanted to be a teacher, but it was like not specifically chemistry. So that basically, I automatically then, enrolled in a chemistry major. And then I did my studies at Florida International University. I always am very curious. And I think what drew me was like the fact that the machines would kind of let me see something invisible. Like I wouldn't be able to see the molecules, but the machines would be allowing me to see things that, you can't see with your naked eye or understand things. And I think that that puzzle kind of analogy kind of resonated with me. And then it's evolved because ever since I knew that those same machines could be applied, I think, into real world applications or operational contexts. It really drew me because from being an analytical chemist, all my research is geared for real life applications like canine detection. So my area is like bridging something like an analytical chemist would understand to law enforcement who are not scientists. So building basically that interdisciplinary connection between the laboratory and how the laboratory can help in an actual field scenario.
For me, I want to echo, I think, a little bit of what's kind of been said before. I really had a good foundation in chemistry growing up. Not only did I have a really great chemistry teacher in high school, but my uncle was also a chemistry teacher. He was even awarded an ACS award for teaching in the state that I live in too. So that was always a huge encouragement to me to have that background behind me. But when I went to college, I think I didn't 100% understand the difference between passive organic and analytical chemistry. But I think I got a huge ability to jump into it because my first year at Purdue University, we had this massive party for Graham Cooks because his DESI instrumentation was on CSI. And from that point on, I was like, oh, I really want to do this. And almost immediately afterwards, I started working for Yu Xia, who was one of his postdocs for a while and then came back as a professor. So that was something that, it's funny how like one little spark can really inspire you to see something completely different that you didn't actually know in the first place. And really since that point, I've stuck in the mass spectrometry field or adjacent with the consumables kind of supporting it ever since then. Being able to move through a little bit of a non-traditional path, I always thought I'd see myself in the lab, made me realize that working in analytical science is the science is important, but it's also about the people, being able to communicate, being able to strategize and enable the researchers who are doing it, even if you're not the one on the bench yourself, are really, really important to give the tools to get to do impactful science in the field.
Yeah, it's quite funny. I think all of us have said it was sort of high school and that sort of younger age where it sort of grew for me. So it was my chemistry teacher at high school who really infused me, and I really wanted to learn more about chemistry. In particular, I actually wanted to go into forensics at the time, but I was advised that it's better if you get a foundation within chemistry and understand the fundamentals behind it before like going straight into forensics. And so I did my chemistry bachelor's, And I got towards the end of that, and I was like, I don't really know what I want to do with this. I wasn't really certain like what jobs really to go towards. And so I actually applied for a master's, which was with GlaxoSmithKline. And that was in method validation and method development for small pharmaceuticals. And it was really my first time that I got a proper hands-on experience with HPLC, and actually thinking about what does this actually entail and how do we improve things and make things safe for patients. But it was actually my first job out of uni, where I was at a knowledge transfer partnership program, which is a program where a university and a company collaborate together to bring knowledge out of universities, which the companies don't necessarily have. And it was my first job there, where I was looking into developing stationary phases. And a guy who worked there, he is truly the reason where I am right today, because like he was so motivational and he wanted to teach. It was amazing actually to work with people like that, where they just want to educate and pass on what they know.